Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Henry, and he's going to share his insights about Your Compliance, which I've mentioned is this end-to-end compliance platform that's been designed exclusively for the UK holiday rental property, and this is for both managers and owners. Really, this platform it's amazing. I've heard Henry demonstrate it before, and it's really set to revolutionize how you handle the ever-changing regulatory requirements. So it's going to make it really easier than ever to ensure that your properties meet all the necessary standards. Right, so without further ado, I'm going to hand over to you.
Thanks for having me, Brenda. That was a pretty comprehensive overview of what is required to run a holiday rental business today in the United Kingdom. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen in a second. Some of you may know me. My company's called You're Welcome. We have several products in this field. But I'm talking to you today about YourCompliance, which is a platform that launched 2 weeks ago, and it's really been developed coming off the back of the increasing regulation and the feedback we've had from clients about how much of a challenge it is to get owners to send off certification to them, the confusion over the fire safety checks of having to do that every time you change over. And we believe we built a product that will be pretty interesting to you on this call. Our biggest client has got 2,500 properties under management, and our smallest one has 1 property. So I'm pretty confident we'll offer value across all of the portfolio sizes that we have on the call today. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. Okay, so as mentioned, some of you may know us. We have a range of products that fit around property management systems. We're pretty close to SuperControl. We've got a lot of clients that use both SuperControl and our various products. And really my business is that we invest in areas that the property management systems sometimes don't invest in as quickly because obviously they're core property management stuff. So just going through our portfolio, guest guides is a pre-arrival guide that's sent out via automated emails, tell them how to get in, lock codes, etc., etc. The product we're best known for is the You're Welcome tablet, which is a point of sale that is installed in your property, enables you to upsell services, distribute video instructional guides, and connect your guests to the local area. Then we have Property Care, which is where really Your Compliance came from. Property Care is an end-to-end cleaning and maintenance automation platform. So it links in with your property management system. Every time a booking comes in, it automatically generates the clean, assigns it to the clean or cleaners, and then they're able to use an app to tick off the task list, and then you in the office know that your guests can enter the property as the property is clean. But having set this platform up, we noticed that pretty much every single client was using Property Care for compliance. But there are some challenges with using that platform. So we decided to invest heavily to create an end-to-end compliance platform, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. Before we start, I would imagine, if not everyone, 99% of you use SuperControl. I think it's fair to say we have a pretty comprehensive integration with SuperControl. It's an enhanced API integration. It obviously pulls in all of your properties, your bookings and your guests. But the key thing is it also pulls in your housekeeping notes, which Brenda highlighted how important that is for some of the checks, and any other custom fields as well. Okay, so let's get into this. So as mentioned at the start, our platform works if you're an individual owner, you're a small property manager, or a very large property manager. And broadly, the platform has like 4 key areas. Now, if you're an individual owner, only one of them will probably be mainly used, but I'll go through all 4 very quickly. So the first thing is this is a completely white labeled platform. So the idea is it plugs into your existing owner comms, and basically all of the email communication that comes from our system looks like it comes from you. Moving on to the next bit is the owner portal. This is branded with your branding. So the idea is that you are empowering your owners to deliver the compliance certification that is required into this portal to have one single place of which you as if you're a property manager can see this across the whole portfolio. So this offers a lot of value to your underlying owners, or indeed to you if you are an owner yourself on this call. The next part of it is a property management portal. This is where property managers are able to approve or decline certification, request more information, and also with the portfolio summary. It's a very quick snapshot that they see in the portal, but was also emailed on a daily basis, a weekly basis, sorry, that shows you have 100 properties. 10 of them are compliant, 90 of them aren't compliant. Here are the risks. Here are the owners that are not responding to your emails, and gives you a kind of risk analysis across your portfolio. The key thing also about this is we work like SuperControl do with property managers, property owners in different areas of the United Kingdom and beyond. As we know, as Brenda was highlighting earlier, different places, different risks. So basically our platform is very customizable to ensure that you can include and send out to the owners the certification that you require for those properties. So if you're a property manager that sits on the Scottish borders and you've got properties in England and also in Scotland, or if you're on the Welsh border as well, we cater for that as well. We talk to a lot of property managers all the time across our product, or across all of our products. And broadly, these are the challenges that property managers were telling us that they were having when we started building this system. So the first one is that owners, my understanding is that owners aren't necessarily aware of the compliance requirements that they need to do. And these are changing quickly, like the fire safety checks. And inevitably with change in legislation, there comes a cost, and that cost usually sits with the owners. So they're often reticent to do them and will question, is it actually valid? And do I need to be doing this? Or are property managers trying to make me spend money? So the key thing for here is education about owners, what the responsibilities are and the consequences of not complying to the local laws and legislations. Owners also require prompting. I know I'm also a property manager that, you know, they've got typically property owners will have full-time jobs. Holiday rental is not their main thing. So it's quite challenging to get them to do things we need them to do it. So our system enables automated reminders to ensure that property owners are going to adhere to what you need them to do. Property managers, a couple of challenges here. One, property managers may unwittingly take the legal obligation of compliance upon themselves. So for example, fire safety checks, you can facilitate those on behalf of the property owner, but you need to make sure that they have access to those fire safety checks because they're the ones in theory that should then fix the issue. If you don't give them access to fire safety checks, how would they know they're meant to fix something? And you might yourself unwittingly take that legal burden on that basis. So our platform solves that very easily. Also, as well, managing current owners with changing legislation, we know inevitably you're going to lose some of your portfolio, because if in your portfolio you have a property that rents out for, say, £90 a night, they're unlikely to want to spend thousands on changing fire safety checks. So this is a problem as well, is to make sure property managers can secure as much of their current portfolio as possible. Also, as well, property managers need an easy way to onboard new properties and new property owners with compliance in mind. So our platform slips into your current onboarding platform. It's just an additional email that comes out from you that takes them into the owner portal that asks them for all the certification to be uploaded and the renewal dates. So therefore, it should take that burden away from property managers. And then we obviously have changes to law are often not well communicated. It's fair to say, having sat on a lot of webinars from PASC and various other places, the fire safety checks came about, and I don't think a lot of people were aware of what they had to do when they came in, or indeed those changes were coming. So there's always uncertainty around the dates of new legislation. A muted licensing scheme that's coming in. No one knows when it's coming in, exactly what you're going to have to do, but you know when it comes in, there's going to be cost and there's going to be swift changes that are required. And then last but not least, when the government introduces new changes, it's challenging to get professionals in, because suddenly everyone needed a fire safety assessment officer. We know a lot of clients in Cornwall, that was pretty challenging. So the product we're going to show you helps you get ahead of this curve. So when these changes come in, not if, you're ready to continue being able to sell your properties via the OTAs. Okay, so just going into a little more details. The first one is white label platform for property managers. We know this is super, super important. It's quite challenging when owners are getting emails from a tool they have never used before. So for this one, you can design and brand all of the emails in our platform, and is then sent via your email sender exactly from you. And then when they log into their owner portal, which will come and show you a bit more, this is great for owners. It's a one place they can store all of their documentation, have access to the changeover checks, see when their certification is running out, leave notes that will be passed on to the property manager. But all of it is branded with your branding. So for owners, if anyone on this call, which is an owner, property owner, not a property manager, this is really where you're going to sit. So basically, it's a secure and simple web portal for owners to upload certification. That's it in the basis. So essentially what happens is, in the back-end system, the property manager, or you, if you're the owner, set up all the certificates that you require. It then has a list of them in your portal, which is also mobile optimized. Then what happens is you upload the current certification that you have, and you put the renewal date in. And then what then happens, it puts an autopilot. So when that's coming up to renewal, it will start emailing you saying you need to get this certification in order. When you have the new one, you upload it and the property comes back to compliant. You can also leave notes in there as well. And the other good thing as well, which is going to come on and show you, is we've got a solution for changeover checks, which will also sit in this portal. So if anyone visited from the legislative departments, you would have one single place you give access to that would show all of the historical archive of every certification, what date you uploaded it, when you did it, any notes, and every single changeover fire safety check in one single place, which I think would make you very compliant in this instance. Also, if you are a property manager using our solution, giving the owners, empowering the owners to be able to do it themselves will mean no more emailing certifications to you, you having to store them on Dropbox, working out calendar reminders when you need to remind them, etc. So really at the core of our product is owners, and empowering owners to ensure that their properties are compliant, because as Brenda stated, the owner is ultimately responsible for ensuring their property is legal. So in the management portal, this is kind of where you set up and manage compliance across your portfolio, or indeed if you're an owner, just for your own properties. So what basically happens is very, very simple. You basically set up all the certification that you need. To date, I think there's 24 different certificates that have been set up in our platform for the various territories in the UK. What then happens is you tick which ones you need for a property. So say, for example, you have one property that has no AGA, no chimney, that has less certifications than if you have one with an AGA, chimney and hot tub. So you're able to apply the correct certificates to the correct properties. This then generates the owner portal of what the owner needs to do on a per property basis. As a property manager, once the owners upload stuff, you get to approve or decline these certificates to ensure that the image is not blurry, or indeed is an image of a cat or something. And you basically then will get a full audit trail of all the compliance across your portfolio, which is super key for property managers. Also, what we like is you guys have kindly turned up for this webinar. Brenda has outlined in detail what you need to do, but I think we all know that ideally as property managers, you probably want to spend more time growing your portfolio, increasing your nightly rate, etc., not thinking so much about compliance. So we think this compliance portfolio analysis can be really helpful to you. It's emailed weekly, or you can log in to view it, and it gives you a very simple snapshot of where you are. How many properties, how many compliant, how many not compliant, how many of properties about to come out of being compliant, any certificates that have been uploaded, and it enables you to sort of manage and eliminate risk as you go. And we think this would be pretty helpful, because obviously you don't want to be spending huge amounts of time doing this if you can help it. This is a key element for us as well. A lot of people are using our property care platform for changeover checks, but we know that, you know, as inevitably with these changes legislation, it tends to fall on your cleaning teams to manage these. So this has got to be super simple, a really simple way to A, get your cleaners to do it, B, for them to actually use it, and then C, to facilitate the transfer of that information to the owner. So what you can do in our platform is very simply generate simple checklists, so i.e. check the fire alarms, fire escapes, etc. And then what it does, it can automatically generate a QR code or a URL if you prefer. You're able to print out that QR code, leave it in the cleaning cupboard. Your cleaner can come in, they can just scan the QR code, opens up the checklist, they check it, they say who they are, and it automatically generates a PDF in the management portal and the owner portal. So instantly distributes it, and very, very simple. If you don't want to use a QR code, you can just generate a URL, send it via WhatsApp, via text, however you communicate with your cleaning teams. Really simple solution, but we think this is going to be really, really helpful, particularly because this enables you to combine the certificates and the changeover checks in one place for the owners and for the property managers. This is the presentation in a nutshell. Pricing starts from £5.99 per month per property, but depending on portfolio size, that could go up or down. Our current customers on property care can use YourCompliance for free until the end of their expiry of subscription, and then obviously there'll be a cost on top. But hopefully that was interesting, and we do believe we offer value to, as I said, owners, property managers, and I guess also agencies also that aren't actually having any access to the properties.